Hi, it's Leonora from Nora Jane Fit. I wanted to do a video today to talk about how to start your journey with healthy eating. So, over the past sort of, let's say, 15 or 16 years, when I had more control over my diet and I started taking a real keen interest in what I was eating, specifically because I used to run track and my dream was always to go to the Olympics. So, I understood the importance of eating well to nourish the body and to support and supply the body with the nutrients that it needed so that I could perform well. I started experimenting with different types of foods and diets. And when I say foods, I mean health foods, supplements, different diets in terms of not eating meat, cutting things out, seeing how my body reacted to that. But I didn't fully grasp that until the latter half of my 20s when I started to also pay attention to how my body was feeling when I was eating certain foods. So, a lot of the times when we start a diet, a lot of people get confused. They don't know where to start. The easiest thing to do is to look at what you're eating now and see how your body responds to certain foods. So, a lot of people will have milk and then they get very fatty, very bloated, loose stools. That is a direct, clear indication that you're lactose intolerant. So when I used to drink a lot of milk, would just take it as something that was the norm. It just happened. And now I can't touch milk. I've been dairy free for a number of years. Dairy free with milk. I still have some milk based yogurt, but it does make me feel sick. So I've tried to stop having that. But I have it in the fermented form in milk kefir, but still doesn't make a difference. So anyway, so look at how your body is reacting to a certain food and then you cut that out. That's the first step. And that could even be something that you would consider a healthy food, like a fruit or vegetable. Sometimes our bodies are not able to process certain micronutrients that are within those fruits and vegetables. So because something is deemed as healthy doesn't mean that necessarily you need to eat that. So that's step number one. Step number two is to get rid of all the things that we know aren't healthy. So there's so much around in the literature and then for public health from the government about what foods are considered healthy and not healthy. And there's a little bit of a crossover in the industry with some of the foods that are being considered healthy, not being healthy, but that's a different topic. So we'll look at what everybody agrees on. So things like crisp, biscuits, chocolates, and it's dark chocolate at 70% or higher, sodas, fizzy pops, things like ice creams, cakes, anything with no added sugar or added sugar, I would consider unhealthy because usually there's a chemical derivative of sugar in there, which causes a plethora of issues within the body, and it's actually sweeter than normal sugar. So you're better off just having the regular thing. So if it's like a Coke or a Diet Coke, I will always go for the Coke. And things like wine or alcohol, any prepared foods, any microwavable foods, any diet foods, even some gluten-free foods are what I would consider not healthy. So you want to just X the whole lot. And you want to go back to, now I've not heard anybody talk about this, but sort of like getting into the energetics of your shopping. So now when I want to go and eat, and this is sort of tuning into how your body is responding to foods. If I want to eat something, I would go and I would I don't know, like you tune into the energy of your food. If you just don't feel like having that, then your body it's not going to digest it and process it well. So I just don't have it. So that's something else that we don't talk about with healthy eating. Listening to your body, listening to the energy and feeling the energy of your body and how it's responding to what you're thinking about having. And if it's a then you're not having that. That's it. It's not going to be a healthy thing for your body. And then also, for me, it's going back to basics with healthy eating. It is so simple and complicated. So I have something that's called like a salad, soup, and smoothie day. And basically, you're getting everything that you need. Your salads are fresh vegetables that you're going to clean, preferably organic, and lightly steam. No boiling, okay? No frying, no baking. Lightly steam, and then you blend that with some filtered water or like a vegetable broth, and that's your soup. It's very healthy. You could add things like miso paste, which is a probiotic. It's a probiotic paste, soybean paste. You can add that. You want to make sure it's GMO free as well. to the soup to increase the nutrient quantity in there. And then you have your smoothies. So you can have a plant-based milk, or you can have an apple juice. And that's an amazing base. You can add a whole bunch of stuff to your smoothies, including flax seeds, chia seeds, and singular protein powders. So like hemp protein or sunflower protein or rice protein, just literally that ingredient and nothing else. Because with protein powders, which I'll do another video on, there's so much that they add in there that's not healthy. And then you blitz that. I always add a banana. You can add nut butter. So smoothies, amazing. You can get so much in there into a smoothie that will satisfy you for quite a long time. And obviously a salad, because a salad, it's raw, it's fresh, it's living food, it's energetically high in nutrients, it's electric food. So you're picking up on the life from that food, really, and you're getting those nutrients directly absorbed into your body. So salads, again, you can put anything into your salads without the salad dressing. So you're going to use organic cold pressed olive oil, high quality olive oil that gets sort of cloudy and thick when it sits on the counter. I put lemon or lime juice and some Himalayan pink salt on that, and that's my salad. So that's a really easy way to start. If you are having things, and I also recommend when you're going into your healthy eating journey, because you are looking to embark on better eating, you want to sort of detox the body by stopping meat. So meat can be quite heavy to digest. So I do believe in the blood type diet. I've tried it myself. It's worked for me and some clients. And I'm type A. So if I eat, there's one time I was struggling to get like flat abs, struggling to get a 4-pack. I was eating a lot of meat and I cut it out, and my tummy just went flat. So I don't eat a lot of meat. And that works quite well for me. And I think that when we give and there's so much science on how, I mean, it's kind of confusing sometimes with the literature. Some bodies say you must have meat, some say you don't need meat. I think everything in moderation, because everybody's body is biologically different. So we can't say that meat's bad for everybody or no meat's bad for everybody. So you need to figure out what works best for you. But on this journey, I would make sure that we're not having any meat at all for at least a month or so, just to give the body and the organs enough time to detox and clean themselves. And then when you start having meat, you can do things like a bone broth with organic chicken bones or organic beef bones. And again, with healthy eating, I will say this, going back to the energetics of things, this is what I struggle with. So when you're looking at eating well, you're looking at eating well to nourish the body, but then there's also the spiritual part of it. And if you eat an animal that's been suffering or that has had a really difficult life or that's been killed brutally, you're picking up not only on the stress hormones, but you're picking up on the energy of that animal because you're putting that into your body. That's not a healthy thing. So I am trying, at one point when I'm rich enough, I will be vegan because then I know I'll be able to get the diversity of nutrients in my diet from a plethora of different cultures that will make my diet sufficient enough to give me all the micronutrients, all the macronutrients, all the enzymes, all the probiotics, everything that I need. For now, I have meat like sort of as and when, and I'll have a chicken. I'm trying to stay off beef because my mindset, and I know this might sound a bit silly, but they can kill a chicken quickly, but a cow will suffer. Even though any animal can suffer when they kill it, I just think a chicken's quicker to kill. So anyways, so healthy eating, getting off the meat. And if you are eating meat, I would really recommend just keeping to simple meat. So turkey, chicken, beef. I'm not a huge fan of lamb or pork or seafood or fish. Going into fish, if you're having fish, wild caught only, and avoid farmed, and you want to stay away from fish that are high in metal, which you can go on the internet and find like a list of which fish are best for the area that you're in. And then when you're in the grocery store, making sure that you're not going hungry, so you're not, choosing things that you shouldn't buy to bring them home to have temptation. So just to recap, you want to make sure that you're sticking to a vegetarian diet as much as you can to start with, avoiding any junk food, listening to your body, listening to the energetics of your body and what your body needs, researching the blood type diet, see if you can try it, see if it works for you or not, and then intuitive eating. A lot of the times within the healthy eating journey, people will say you must have breakfast, you must have lunch, dinner, you have to eat 3 times a day. No, that has been not only tied into marketing, but it's tied into business, because these companies, like breakfast companies, make millions and billions off of cereals, and it's also tied into the way that we eat. It's also tied into like the work. So you have to be up at 6 breakfast, lunch, and then dinner, all structured around the 9 to 5. They're not really around our biological needs. So what I'd recommend, I had a client who was struggling with losing weight, and she was like, I don't really like to have breakfast, but everybody says that I must have it, and I eat it. I don't feel very good after. What do? I said, extra breakfast, don't have breakfast. So we would train usually when she was in a fasted state, and she made amazing strides. So got to remember that food is energy. Energy is needed for our bodies to function and work, of which we need to have a certain amount per day. If you wake up in the morning and you're not hungry, that is your body's indication that it does not need any more energy, so you do not need to eat. You will not overeat at lunchtime. You will not overeat whenever you eat. Like it's, a lot of professionals say, I just don't agree with it. You eat when you're hungry, and when your body is sort of like they say in this Japanese culture. I'm reading this book called Ikachi. I can't pronounce it correctly. They were saying that this culture, people live to be centurions and over. They stop when they're 80% full, which makes it easier for the body to digest food. So that's another thing that's really important with healthy eating. Eating only when you're hungry and stopping when you're 80% full. And that means if you miss dinner or lunch or anything like that, then that's fine as well. And then finally, avoiding the use of microwaves, avoiding the use of anything in plastic, avoiding any sauces or syrups or stock cubes, unless they have like 2 or 3 ingredients that you could understand the names of. Reading the labels of everything that you pick up, you have to be able to understand what is in your food. That's super important. You don't understand what's in your food, it shouldn't be going into your body, because a lot of the time some of these chemical derivatives they do so much harm. It's just better to just have something simple. And finally, looking at having a lot of access to fresh fruits and vegetables. So meaning that when you go to the grocery store, you are going to the fruit section, you're going to the vegetable section, you can go to the dairy section for like plant-based yogurts and plant-based cheeses and butters. If you're going to buy meat, organic section, you go to your whole food section for your whole grain rice, your oats, your lentils, your beans, your pulses, things like that, your oils and your herbs, and that's it. You don't need snacks, you don't need chocolate, you don't need confectionery, you don't need wine, you don't need alcohol. This is how you start your healthy eating journey. You pay attention to how your body is feeling at every point. You nourish your body as it needs to be nourished. And I also recommend getting supplements. I do believe that they work. I do believe that they are important and part of a moderate, or not moderate. They're part of a balanced diet, because if you look back to, maybe compared to like 1940s to now, when the soil was much healthier, everybody's probably heard this. The soil's depleted now. We're over farming. The quality of nutrients and nutrients that are available in the fruits and vegetables now is significantly lower. And to be honest, if you're in a country like England, like I am, you eating seasonally, how much fruit can you? Sometimes I go into the grocery store and I'm like, I'm so tired of broccoli and peppers and parsnips. Like, I want food. I want proper food. And I can't get that. So I will have a supplement that will give me certain nutrients that I won't get otherwise in my diet. So in this respect, yes, supplements are important. If you are having supplements, again, you have to look at the quality of the supplement. So nothing in a plastic bottle, only glass. I need to read the ingredients. Stay away from things that have bulking agents or fillers or sugar or starches as the first ingredients. That's an indication that it's not a good quality supplement. I'll do another video on that. So to sum it up, because I don't want to keep the video too long, healthy eating is super simple and be complicated. Take it back to the days, like think about just living in bush on an island somewhere, right? You're going to have access to fruits and vegetables, fresh seafood, which I don't really like. I hate seafood, so I wouldn't count that. But if you like seafood, fine. Fresh seafood and things like corn, potato, things like that. But now again, got to be organic, corn, GMO. So it's quite complicated, which I guess is why people get confused with the healthy eating thing. But if you keep it to fruits and vegetables to start with, add in probiotic foods like kefir, water kefir, plant-based milk kefir, kombucha, tempeh, miso soup, fermented tofu, or tofu is fermented, so non-GMO tofu, things like that, things that are high in probiotics. Add a lot of herbs to your diet. You can get the assistance of a herbalist, which is amazing for overall health. And also I would recommend getting some allergy test to find out what your body's intolerant to. So I found that I can't have gluten, wheat, yeast, a whole bunch of stuff, which is good because I feel better. Eating off the earth, eating raw, cooking your food where it's steamed, not fried or boiled or anything like that, avoiding the use of microwaves, and just taking it step by step, day by day, and staying away from what you know it's not healthy. And finally, educating yourself, because it's not anybody else's responsibility except for yours to be in charge of your health. Healthy eating can be confusing if we complicate it. If you make sure you have fresh fruits and vegetables there so that when you're hungry you can go get something, you're not going to go give in to like pizzas and things like that. Every now and then if you want to have a junk food day, go for it, but after a while you'll feel so sick because your body's going to be so nourished that it's going to reject the things that that deplete it. So that's it for this video. I might do a part 2 because I know I just threw a whole bunch of stuff in there. But on your healthy eating journey, figure out what you want to address first. Start with soups, start with salads, start with smoothies. Start organic if you can. If you can't, clean your fruit or your vegetable as much as possible. Soak your grains, so your oats, your rice, your beans, your peas, all of that stuff. Soak it in filtered water and apple cider overnight to make it more bioavailable and easily digestible for the body. Avoid meats as much as you can for that month. Rest as much as possible to support the body, nourish the brain, help your muscles to relax, recover, and recoup, because you'll be exercising as you're eating healthily as well. And read a lot on what type of diet you want to follow. If it's a vegan diet or if it's more flexitarian, so you are taking bits from different diets. And in healthy eating, my last thing, don't diet. Don't diet. The science shows that people will start a diet, lose weight, and then gain that weight back plus more in as much as 6 months' time. So take it step by step, day by day. It's a lifestyle change. Figure out what works for you. Figure out what you enjoy eating. Figure out what nourishes you. Figure out what your body likes. Figure out what your body doesn't like and doesn't need and doesn't do well with. And then that's the premise from which you start from. I'm sure you'll have lots of questions. If you do, fantastic. I am on Nora Jane Fit 1 on Instagram, Nora Jane Fit on Facebook, and here on YouTube I'm here. So you can leave me a comment or a message and I will do my best to get back to you. And I hope that this video has been inspirational and informative. If you have enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk with you soon. Have a good one. Ciao.